So I love Charmed. I've always loved Charmed, and I really love the reboot of Charmed. So OG and reboot are all in my heart. And it's because of that, I have to give them some tough love, guys. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park, and this is Approach to Nerd. And in this episode, we are giving some tough love to Charmed. And when I say tough love, I mean the writing of the show, not the actors, not the universe, not their acting. I have no problem with any of those things. It is the inconsistency that the CW has, and not just Charmed, but of other shows like The Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman, Riverdale, sometimes Nancy Drew. It's just some of these shows that we see on the CW network has a writing inconsistency problem. Now, I know that people get triggered by this because a lot of people are passionate about their fandoms. I love my fandoms, but I'm gonna do what my friend over at Blurred Without Fear, cool channel, check it out, does on his channel, and it is called housekeeping. So this is my overall rule on my channel because I do this for fun because I have 2 full-time jobs. I work in nonprofit and I also do professional voiceovers. So when I'm able to get a video out, which I try to do without editing, which means I'm doing it with no script, I'm doing it from memory, and I'm doing it pretty much at late hours in the night because I need to do it when there's not a lot of traffic going by, which unfortunately you're still gonna hear. But again, this is for fun. The moment it stops being fun, I will stop making it. I love feedback. I encourage debate. I love when people give new viewpoints, new opinions to what is happening. But when you get on my channel and then you start calling me an idiot or other people that are commenting idiots, or you start making very vulgar or derogatory, comments in general, I am going to block you. I am no longer going to engage to see if we really mean what you're saying. I'm going to block you. I'm going to consider you a troll and I'm going to block you. And also, please do not message me in my Facebook and Instagram death threats because you don't like something that I'm saying. This happened with a Picard review, and that stuff I take seriously because that is a little cuckoo to me. So please, if you are triggered by somebody else's opinion and you are not able to be objective enough to take that as someone's opinion and not as canon and law and the destruction of your universe, which is kind of sad, then maybe you are on the wrong channel. Just saying, just putting that out there. Now, to my tough love for Charmed. Again, love the show, love the potential of it being in either the canon universe or its own universe. That's fine with me. I'm a comic book lover. I love multiverses, so it's completely okay with me if they're in their own universe. Although when they were looking in the Book of Elders, I was praying that we would see the Hallowells in there as one of the past incarnations of the Charmed ones, especially if they were spanned over the multiverse, which would have been cool to tie them in. But again, if they're doing their own thing, I'm completely okay with that too. This is what I am not okay with. I am not okay with the following. Filler episodes. I know that some of our favorite genres do it. I know anime is big on it. Sailor Moon, Naruto, One Piece. You name the show. If there's a ton of episodes, they're going to have filler. Bleach was notorious. If you've ever watched Bleach anime, notorious for filler episodes. And that's because they only get like a certain amount of content via the manga or the graphic novels or the books to be able to put out. So if you get 100 episode order and you only have enough for 80 episodes, then yeah, 20 of those episodes are going to be fluff. And we understand this as fans. But what we don't get is when we have a season, a sophomore season of a show that's running a very intense, never before done storyline on some of our favorite characters, especially in the Charmed universe. Having so many filler episodes makes zero sense, especially if the only thing that you're going to accomplish in these filler episodes is to reiterate stuff we already know. We understand that Dark Harry has a totem and that whoever has the totem controls Dark Harry. We understand that. We have understood since earlier on, I want to say episodes 2 or 3 maybe, when we learned that the Dark Lighter or Jimmy was capturing magical creatures and encasing them. For what reason? To steal their powers, their magic. We understand this. We do not need an episode where you take Harry and Abigail and take them to Maine and have them run into a young witch who has the same powers that Mel used to have. I did not say she stole her powers. I said she had her power, the same power that Mel previously had. And actually at her age, used better. I'm just being real. She froze an entire town. We never saw Mel do that. So, side note. Why do we need this episode? For us just to learn from Jimmy that, hey, the magical scientists are stealing magical creatures and taking their powers. We know, we understand that's what's happening. It bothers me. The second thing that bothers me is the fact that the power of 3, which is actually supposed to be, to me, the power of 3 is the most powerful manifestation of the sisterhood of the sisters. Now, yes, that is how it was in the original Charm series. I am not trying to say that this is what has to be in the reboot, but it's just weird that they made it seem so like ominous and like unattractive. It's like, why would I want to have this power? You just basically told me if my sisterhood isn't strong enough, then one of us is going to die. Team power of 3. No, that's weird. It's just weird. Yeah, they could be going darker. I just got into Sabrina and I think Sabrina is awesome. But to be fair, Sabrina started off as a graphic novel and it was also dark. So the campier version, technically speaking, was the reboot, the reinvention of Sabrina. So I understand, just like with the Archie comics in Riverdale, you're trying to go somewhere dark. You're trying to separate yourself from the series. I understand that. But it just makes it so uninviting and unappealing to have the power of 3 because you're basing it on something that you haven't even shown happening in the series, which is my next point, the sisterhood of the Charmed Ones. They don't have one. They have no sisterhood. These girls barely know each other. It's almost like you got roommates and put them together. And like, it's a reality show. Hey, we're throwing some magic in, some demons, a little bit of drama and adventure. But yeah, there you go. They do not act like sisters. I really want them to because I really love the characters individually. But that's the problem. We've only seen them a majority of the time individually. They're usually on screen with each other for like 5 or 10 minutes in an episode. It's crazy. How do you expect me to believe that these 3 are going to bond and be able to overcome this ominous, message saying that if your sisterhood isn't strong enough, then one of you is going to die and the power of 3 is no more. Are you strong enough as sisters? No, they are not. They're not. Macy told them that she felt like a third wheel. She said, Mel and Maggie have memories and a whole childhood together. She was raised apart to the point where she feels like she's not part of the sisterhood. She actually prefers to be a power of 1. That's a problem. And it's a bigger problem when your sisters look at you while you're saying this and don't make a comment about it. They're just like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's nothing. It's nothing. And you want me to be committed to the idea that they are strong enough as sisters to survive as Charmed Ones, basically. No. No. Next, let me clear something up about Abigail, because I misspoke, but I also kind of still think that I'm a little bit right. Abigail does use pyrokinesis. She does have that as one of her abilities. Yes, she did do that in episode 4. I went back and looked. But she was not as strong as she is now, because we know that when she took Macy's power, it gave her a power up. Because if she had this level of power, why didn't she use it any other times that she was in danger? No, it came from Macy. And Macy came out swinging with that ability. Even though she didn't know what she was doing, she was coming out swinging. So if she had more time to really develop it, she would have been a lot stronger than what Abigail is, even with the enhancement. I am 100% certain of this because it's Macy. And Macy is, in my opinion, the most powerful witch in this universe. Period. And if she's the Prue counterpart, it's absolutely true. I don't know a lot about Vera's family, the Vera family. I don't know about, I want to say Abigail's maiden name is Jameson. I think it is. Her mother's maiden name, Jameson. So the Jameson witches, if I'm wrong, please tell me below. But I think that her name is Abigail Jameson and then Cain. Maybe, but just for this points of this video, we're going to say Jamesons. We don't know anything about her mother's witch lineage, like the family she comes from, how they're connected. Were they connected to the Veras? How did the Veras coven or witch lineage begin? Who was the first Vera? Was their name Vera? I mean, we saw Belinda's name in the book. Melinda, sorry. I don't know how that's connected. You see what I'm saying? It's weird because we get no backstory on these girls. Like, we get nothing at all. That is a big problem. We want to be affected by these characters. Again, I like them, but I am not going to cry if one of them dies. And that's where I am right now because honestly, we don't know enough about these people. The one thing we do know about the Veras, though, they like to cheat a lot, except for Macy. Macy hasn't had the opportunity yet, but their mama, Marisol, cheated on Ray with Macy's dad, conceived Maggie. Mel cheated with Nico on Nico's fiancee, Greta. Stole Nico from Greta. Maggie stole Parker from the blonde sorority leader that I keep forgetting the name of. But Parker was with her, and Maggie stole Parker from her. There seems to be no rhyme or reason for it. It's just like the family motto is, if they're there, get them. Doesn't matter if they're in committed relationships. Doesn't matter if you're in a committed relationship. Go for it. So whenever I hear these lines about relationships and they're like, oh, well, so much for keeping ourselves out of relationships, or like the whole thing with Ruby and Mel where, Ruby wants to just keep things casual and Mel makes a comment that, oh, I really don't know how to do that. I'm like, what was Jada? You pretty much jumped in the bed with her in the third episode after you met her. So, I mean, how is that even true? You know what I mean? And even their white lighter, Harry, his previous human self, James Westwell, had two families. So the overall theme when it comes to relationships is cheating's fine. I'm just saying, because that is the writing in this show. It's the writing. So then how can I get upset if somebody cheats on you? Because you've shown me that you do it. So how are you going to be a hypocrite about it? You know what I mean? Like if Jordan and Maggie get together and Jordan goes back to his ex-girlfriend, I'm assuming, quite frankly, I don't know. He could still be with her, and Maggie and Jordan flirting with each other and stuff could be emotionally cheating right now. How would I be upset if Jordan went back to her and broke Maggie's heart when Maggie pretty much did the same thing to the sorority girl and pretty much would be doing the same thing to Jordan's girlfriend? I'm just saying it is the writing that is a problem. And then let's talk about Abigail and Harry. I don't know if this is just a brilliant way of Harry infiltrating Abigail's world and basically trying to find out what her end game is, because quite frankly, I am confused. Because no matter what she does, he still goes back to her apartment and runs back to her. And is it that he just has a thing for bad women? We had Charity, and I'm pretty sure her name was Charity. My brain is all over the place, but I think it was Charity, that he was attracted to. He has a thing for Macy, who is basically, or was, half demon. And then we got Abigail, who's half demon. And even when he uses the argument, we can't be together because you're half demon. Macy was half demon and you were jumping on that idea. I don't understand that. Writing consistency makes no sense. You cannot tell Abigail you can't be with her because she's half demon, but then jump in the sack or want to jump in the sack with Macy, who is also half demon. Makes no sense. I want Hasty to happen. I think they're cute. I just want the writing for this series to get a lot better because it's all over the place. If this was a train, we've already derailed 5 times before we even got to Hogwarts. I'm just saying. So I want the writing to improve. I want to know that all of these little things that we keep getting filler-wise are leading to something. Like there's some ultimate plan that, yeah, maybe I'm just ignorant and I'm not seeing. But come on. It is really hard to make theories on the videos now, or the episodes, because it's all over the place and they keep reiterating the same thing over and over again. And then characters that you feel like should be really important, like, Let's talk about Julian and his mother or aunt, whatever. They're like side notes right now. It's weird. It is really, really weird. We haven't even spent enough time with the secret, whatever scientists to know what their end game is, why they're doing what they're doing. If Ray, who I still think may be still involved with them, is actually involved in working for them and trying to keep his daughter safe on some under the radar shady level. If Julian's actually running everything and we think it's the aunt. Now the aunt could be controlling the dark lighter, Jimmy, she could have the totem, but I still think that Julian is in charge of everything. I don't know why, I just do. I think Swan has potential to be involved, and it would be really cool for me. This is just my dream. Call it a fan fiction if you want. That Swan is the mastermind behind all of it. That would be interesting, but she's been missing the last 2 episodes. So I don't know. But what I do know is reiterating the same thing over and over again, but by having filler episodes and putting them into repetitive situations, keeping the sisters separated, telling the sisters that they need to separate more to find themselves, to come back together as sisters, makes no sense. Makes no sense. The writing needs to improve. That is what I'm saying. Again, if this is triggering for you, I'm sorry, but I'm not, because this is just my opinion, and we should all be adult enough, mature enough to respect each other's opinions. You do not have to agree with anything that I say in these videos at all. You are free to put in the comments what you don't agree with. I am not going to be offended, but the moment you start getting derogatory and start insulting me or other people that are commenting, you are gone. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. Maybe when I was in my 20s, I was able to do that. I'm in my 40s now. I'm tired. Not happening. So that is the law of the land. I love you guys. I want you to continue to be on the channel and just make comments, but I will not tolerate BS. I have an allergy to it. Completely allergic to BS. So put that out there. You know how I feel about the charmed writing. I really want to know what you guys think. Agree, disagree, leave me a comment below, please, and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the nerd bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.